Shemai GTA chums. The Previon. This is the latest car to be released in the Los Santos Tuners drip feed, and I'm going to be reviewing it today. So first we're going to go through the customization, and then we're going to go into race characteristics. So do jump forward if customization does not interest you. Should say there's a lot of customization options indeed. That's why I've sped it up, because I spent a long time looking at everything. But this car is based on, as far as I can tell, it looks like the Honda Prelude to me, which is like a, was it early 90s kind of car. It's a coupe. It's very nice, and it's in the coupe class as well. So we put a bit of a small roll bar in there. Color coordination wise, we're going yellow, blue for the rare yellow blue colorblind people out there. This is a big shout out to you guys. Showing you a car that you can't really distinguish, I suppose, between the colours, but they are there. Don't you worry. If you don't see the livery, you've got yellow-blue colour blindness, so you could use this as a test as well for that. I'm going to keep it pretty clean. I'm not going for anything too crazy, except for the spoiler. Went a bit too crazy on that. Oh, lowering as well, you see that? You could lower it right to the ground. But I've gone for the sports, so they're kind of not crazy, kind of lowering, because that should give the best performance is what I'm thinking at the moment. So there we go, yellow blue, very nice. We're not using the Los Santos Tuners tyres, we don't need them. Here we are at the test track, and I've done a few laps, and what I've done is I've gone from sports suspension to competition suspension, and it was pretty similar. So what I tried next was lowering the stance to see what occurred. So without lowering the stance, I was getting around about 58 seconds. But then from lowering the stance, I found something really strange happening. So without the lowered stance, I was finding there was a bit of understeer to contend with, but it's almost like the lowered stance took that understeer away in many parts. So it was cornering better, basically. Which I couldn't figure out, I couldn't fathom whatsoever. And this is my best lap, and my racing lines are not too bad, pretty good there. So that's also a factor, but I think that's down to the stance. Because normally I thought the lowering of the stance always makes it worse, because I always thought the Previon would be a 58-second car. That's what it looked like. It was always going to be. But coming up to the 360 here, you can see coming out of it the time's looking pretty good. 56 seconds. Now that is a good time. That's better than the Sultan RS. That's one of the best times I've got with a Los Santos Tuners car. What the hell is going on? So let's have a look at something else, shall we? Let's have a look at a drag race, because we need to compare the Sultan with the Previon at this point to figure out what the hell's going on. We have a drag race, the Previon versus the Sultan RS Classic. The RS Classic is sports suspension, and the Previon is still competition, so it's got lower suspension, but both of them are lowered stances. So the Sultan RS Classic could go faster, and as you can see there, it's won the race quite easily by just over a second. The Sultan RS Classic had that, and it would go faster if it had competition suspension. Well, I think the decider is going to be how this car races. So here we are up against a good few Colicos, as ever with the street racing. Quite a full rack of cars here. So we've got all 8 cars. And everyone else is taking off a lot faster. I didn't get my launch too good there. Got one of them BMWs there. Should be able to beat the BMW surely. Calico, so that same dude in the red Calico that I've been up against. Knocked him out. And we're coming up to the. I was just coming up to the shortcut. I know this track. This is the track that I know, so I should be able to race all right on this. This is a good kind of litmus test. All the other races I'm not as good at, but for some reason I like this one, and I seem to get on with it and remember where to go generally. Well, that guy's just knocked himself out. Is that the Sultan RS Classic? It's not doing too bad. It's pretty stable, and we're taking the corners nicely. There's no understeer problems. The main thing I've been contending with when I've been racing with this car is my own driving ability. So we've got to go down this little shortcut. That'll be nice. Oh, this is a problem. I keep bumping this guy in the back, and it's not getting me anywhere. Oh, he's going for the same lines. Oh, I'm following him on one of those. Oh, there's that Sultan getting in the way again. Let's see how the Sultan's pulling away from us. We don't like that. We don't like that at all. What's his stance anyway? Or hair stance? Looks like there's sports suspension. I have sports suspension on the Sultan. That's best. This Calico. I mean, Calicos they're not interesting, are they? Everyone races them. Everyone knows they're fast. Oh, that's a nightmare. Everyone's stuck in this hole. What the hell? This track is not big enough for all of us to fit in. But it's holding its own against the Calico. That's not bad. Calico accelerates away on the straights, but on the corners, that's where he's struggling. The other Calicos are well ahead there, though they know how to drive them, whereas the guy in front is not. Oh, nearly hit the post then. Yeah, you don't want to hit the telegraph because then it's game over. I mean, let's take this little shortcut. Don't want to miss this. Oh, what's happened there? Calico's had a bit of an argy-bargy with another Calico. Oh, this is the other guy. Seems to be worse. I'm not sure whether the red one or the black one's the worst driver. They both seem not great at times. I think they struggle with the understeer. I mean, they'd be good, but they'd be better with an RS. I think that's what they want to be driving, really. I think they'd to get better performance out of that. I couldn't figure out the Calico. It's one of them cars you need to put the effort in with. Excellent car, but I prefer the RS. Bad luck. Oh no! Look at that! He's in front of me again. I thought he was being clever then, but then I got stuck on that Calico. This BMW's just hit a wall. That was not a good way to do that. Somebody's dropped out. That's 7 races. Are we going to catch this Calico up? They're taking a shortcut. We don't know that shortcut. We don't do very well with that shortcut. Let's just hope we get him on the corners. That's where we're going to... Oh, damn it. I did the same as him. Following too closely to his line. Not good. Yeah, unless he cocks up now. I think we're going to struggle to catch him. Look at that straight. Oh, there we go. Haha, get that understeer sorted out. And that's how you win, you know, you just stay in it a bit longer than everyone else, make less mistakes, basically. It's about that then. Not bad, 5th place. So, I'm happy with that result. You know, the Previon, it can be competitive against people who struggle with the understeer of the Calico. So there's the winner, the Midnight Club. He was not in a Calico, he's in the Audi. Yeah, so 2 Calicos in front and a Vectra, you'd expect that. Previon, that was not bad. And the Cypher below was on the Calico, so I think it's better than the Cypher, yeah, definitely. Right, here's my conclusions on this mighty fine car. Well, first off, customizations are the best thing that it does offer because it has lots of customizations, even if some of them do not suit the 1990s Honda Prelude car. However, it has some nice options. You know, you can really make the car your own. The liveries, well, they're not brilliant. I suppose that's the one part of customization I didn't like too much, for example. And race-wise, well, it's turned out to be pretty stable as far as racing is concerned, and you can go over bumps and things without any problems spinning out most of the time. And the lowering stance also was pretty good, so you can really really speed the car up by lowering the stance, and it also keeps its racing line and doesn't have too much of an understeer when you lower it, funnily enough, which is a bit odd. Now the test track table, it came number 1 of the Los Santos Tuners cars, so that is impressive. That shows just how good it is, really. Nevertheless, though, in actual racing, although it beat the RS Classic, it also massively beat the Coleco on the test track. So that isn't really representative of my experience in racing, where the Coleco and the RS Classic, I think I did a lot better in the racing compared to when I used the Previa, especially with the RS Classic. So I'd recommend the RS Classic for racing if you're new to racing. But this could hold its own, don't get me wrong. In a race you can still beat people, especially people who bump, like in the Coleco and the RS Classic. You could beat them, as I've shown, if they're not as good or don't know the track that you're racing on, and you do. And it can certainly beat the BMW, the Audi. It can beat those, as well as a lot of the other Los Santos Tuners cars when it's set up the way I've demonstrated. So it can be competitive in races, but you're not going to win every time, because people who can drive the Sultan RS, the Coleco, they're always going to beat you. However, the one thing it does add, which is you are being original. If you're driving this car in a race, nobody else is driving this in races right now. So if you bought it just for the crack, if you're an experienced racer, I'd recommend you give it a go. Why not? Because it's enjoyable to drive. I like driving it, and the challenge of beating like a Coleco is quite enjoyable. You know, you can be getting your racing lines and nailing it and beating them on that purpose. So yeah, it's a good car. I don't regret buying it, but it might not be the right car for you. So for all the reasons I've outlined there, so if you like the look of it, if you like the sound of and you're not into racing massively, and you're not that bothered about winning, but you just want to participate, then this might well be the car for you. And let me know in the comments. Do add some comments and tell me your thoughts on the Previon, because I'd be interested to know your setups and how you found it with that the understeer oddly improving when you're lowering it. Did that happen with you as well? Because that seemed to be the way it was with me. Okay, so drop a like if you've watched this far, because you've clearly found something that's engaging. And overall, I hope it's not been too long for you, this review, and I hope it has been helpful. So have a great day, and I hope that you enjoy driving your cars out there, and especially this one if you've bought that one. But thank you very much for watching.